Hello, this is Jamie of the Druid Diaries. I'm back to do my second video of the day. I tend to do these little videos in clumps and then not for a little stretch in between. So, as I mentioned in the first one, if you've watched that, I had a little more to say, and it harkens back to these Seahorse brothers who I've been pondering regarding their story. I haven't done the research yet. Someone very kindly has put me on to the fact that she believes and she's a good source, that these two were brothers, the ones that appeared in the carvings on three Pictish stones. Two brothers that suddenly began to war on one another. And what immediately leapt to mind, given that they were Pictish and the time period, is that it was over religion. I don't know that this is true, but it keeps coming up, this theme of religions entering into the family unit and breaking up families over what their beliefs are. And this to me is just one of the saddest manifestations of religious intolerance, is when it enters the family unit and creates a breakup of the family or a battleground within a family. It is incredibly sad. I feel that Druidry is something that can really demonstrate to people what a family is. Druids, people learning about Druidry, come from all walks of life. Many, many varieties of lineages. Some of them are polytheist. Some of them are monotheists. Some of those monotheists are Christians. Some of the polytheists also see themselves as embracing Christ, embracing Jesus and the Christian God, as well as their Celtic gods. Some choose and have been chosen by gods from far away, perhaps Roman gods, Greek gods, Celtic gods, perhaps Hindu gods. Some are Celtic traditionalists, and very much like the First Nations, indigenous people, the very spiritual people of North America that have gone back or have managed to hang on to and nourish their deep spiritual beliefs that existed from prior to Christian beliefs. These Celtic traditionalists are striving to connect with their deep ancestral indigenous religions, and so are a lot of people in Druidry, each in their own individual way. However, we are a complex group, and because we unify ourselves with this Druidic path, this beautiful nature spirituality, we are like a forest. And there is this gorgeous canopy of branches in the forest. And even though those trees are all different kinds of trees, and they're all sacred in their own right, that canopy protects us all. And it gives life to life. And the trees, they communicate to one another. They are grounded in the earth, and they reach to the sky. They all soak in the energy of the sacred sun. They all have their leaves turned to the moon. You know, their roots deep in the earth are connected by an interweb of micro life. There's all kinds of life in the soil. Good, healthy soil is full of life and community. And these trees, they may not always get along, but they all are a part of this one community. And those leaves don't just give shelter to one type of animal. They give shelter to the whole community. And druids are like that. We can debate vehemently on, our beliefs or what is correct or how to say something or, what to do in a ritual or, is a solitary druid really a druid? That's a good one. But we're still all in this together. We're still druid. We're still following the path of Druidry. And that community is strong. And it is slowly and surely growing in such a way as, in my heart, I believe it is a gold standard of understanding intolerance and unity and diversity. And that is precious to me about Druidry. I find it absolutely abhorrent, the nasty things that are being said by some individuals about Druids. Are you serious? Can you possibly be even at all serious about some of the things that you're saying and accusing these good people of? Oh my gosh, take a page off of Obod. The kindness, the caring for people's well-being, the challenge that is given to each and every one of us on that path to grow to be better than we are. Does that just sort of fly past you? Do you hear that at all? I pity you that you have such a sad view of other people that is based on such fantasy that you can't even be bothered to get to know us as human beings and to really study our path. Because if you did, if you went to these fine organizations like the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids, like the British Druid Order, like the Druid Network in the UK, like the ADF in the United States, and so many others, if you bothered even to go to their websites or start legitimately earnest conversations through email or phone calls to talk to us about what we believe, about what we practice, before scapegoating us and trying to create this cowboys and Indians scenario for your Hollywood movie. It is irresponsible, extremely irresponsible to be promoting hatred towards another religious group and having that be more about you're pumping yourself up. Do you have to always have an enemy to be good, to be worthy, to have self-respect? Can you not use friendship to bolster those beautiful qualities in your path? I'm sad that you seem to keep insisting that your way is the only way. I respect your way. If you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu or a Buddhist or a Jewish, more power to you. If that path touches your heart, your spirit, and it helps you to grow and to be the best that you can be in a good and beautiful way, I respect that. I am happy for you. And I am happy for us all, because the more every human being is able to grow and flourish in that beautiful, creative way that we are blessed with as being part of this creation, I find that to be sacred and good, and we should unify around the value of love and compassion and caring and celebration of the creativity of the universe. Don't make enemies out of people who don't hate you, people who don't want to be enemies, people who want to be friends with you, people who respect your right to freedom of religion. Respect our right to freedom of religion. Learn from us that we can get along, that we can care about one another under Druidry and yet believe different things. and still respect the sacredness within creation, the sacredness within everyone. This is what Druidry means to me. Druidism, growing into being a Druid, is growing into maturity, spiritual maturity. It's study, it's practice, it's learning how to carry oneself in a good way, not a hypocritical way, but in a good way. And learning to think things through, to understand the value within every human being, not just in dollars and cents, the real intrinsic beauty and value in every human being, in trees, in grass, in other creatures. It's, it's sad. It's incredibly infuriating too, to go online and to read and to listen to these imaginary statements about Druids and paganism. And no, as far as I'm aware, Druids are not making human sacrifices, and if they ever did, it was more than likely few and far between, and within the context of their time, relatively, I don't want to say common, but in the cultures around the globe that we would have had in contact with, it was not unknown. In Roman society, it was horrendous, the amount of human life that was sacrificed. We move on. We strive to grow. It's not on our playlist to do things like that. Okay? We're caring about people. We're caring about and respectful regarding the planet that gave us life. God gave us life. The gods gave us life. The planet gave us life. It doesn't really matter at this point to me which of those phrases you would go with, but it is a great privilege to be alive. It is a great privilege to be able to use this medium, the internet, to reach out to one another. There are so many things in our lives that really are a great privilege. And there are people who want to clasp all of that only for themselves or only for their group. That is wrong. I'm sorry to use a strong word there, but it's wrong. We've been playing at this game since the dawn of human ideas of time. The human commodity. Let's harness that. Let's use it. Only the people at the top of that pyramid get to really benefit. Or we'll throw them some breadcrumbs. They'll be okay. We'll feed them this delusion or that, or we'll make them so afraid that they feel they have to do it. This is old news. Can we start really growing out of this? It's a problem. War is a problem. Exploitation is a problem. We diminish ourselves not only as individuals, but collectively as a human species by behaving in this ridiculously immature way. I don't expect everyone to get along. I don't get along with everyone. I try. I make an honest effort to do better every time. But I'm human. I'm not perfect. It's a goal. And it's learning. And it's crafting myself as a better person slowly over time. Like that stone with the sharp edges being smoothed by the river. It takes time to grow. Not everyone is born patient. Good gravy. I have a lot of Celt in me. Right? So it's not without deep empathy that I say to you today, learn to get along as best you can. Learn to forgive when you don't get along. Learn to move on. Find common ground. do what you can in a good way to create those spaces that are not devoid of caring, but this kind of space that allows us to continue to grow as individuals and to not brush each other the wrong way all the time. Ask yourselves what it is about what you believe that holds you back from getting along with other spiritual paths. I have focused in my mind's eye, whether I've said it or not, a great deal in this. Listen to those kids, isn't that great? Okay, it was a Christian statement, or a statement made by a Christian person in the media that brought this on today, but this is relevant to a lot of different people, situations, and different religious paths too. So I don't want to just simply pick on Christianity, even though it is the one foremost in my mind this morning. And it's sad, but true. I want us to get along. I want there to be mutual respect and understanding. It's a lot to ask, but it shouldn't be. So mote it be. Blessings to all. Listen to those kids. They sound happy.